Kemba Walker, step back, Walker, cardiac Kemba does it again.
Ubilis, 7 seconds to go. Three-pointer.
Oh! Hutchins! Double order!
Again, comes down to fundamentals.
Oh! My goodness! Sorrentine hit that one from the parking lot.
Watford for the win.
Yes! Yes!
Trip to the Sweet 16. Caney's got it. Rises up. The shot.
And it's good! It's good! From the corner! And it's over! Gonzaga! The slipper still fits! Ha ha! College basketball!
Fellas, chat, what's going on?
What up, what up, what up?
Whoa, Nick Boyd's coming to Wisconsin? Oh, shit. Is that true?
It's a Final Four reaction show. We're talking about the transfer portal of some random kid going to fucking Wisconsin.
Random kid. This is fuck yes. And we got Rhodey. Oh man. Okay, all right, yeah. We won't talk. We don't have to talk about it. But Nick Boyd.
Yeah, save that bullshit episode that when we don't have our last game of the season and the biggest game of the year to talk about versus stupid Wisconsin. Sorry. Just had to cut a promo there real quick. But let's talk about it. Last night, crazy-ass games. Even the Auburn-Florida game, the final score may have gotten away from it, but it was a pretty awesome game considering Auburn led that entire game for the most part. So until Florida kind of dominated the second half. What are your guys' thoughts initial reactions? Obviously the big comeback. Houston down 9 with 2 minutes to go. They were down 6 or 7 when Tugler got that technical foul reaching over the baseline. Incredible. I totally thought we were cooked there. The 5.5 was cooked there on the technical foul. Houston did what they kind of did all season, and Duke did what they kind of did all season in close games, kind of losing it. So initial thoughts, guys, what's your reaction? That might have been the best game I've seen in a while. And John Rothstein said for the Houston game, you'll remember where you were 10, 15, 25 years from now, where you were. I'm like, you're damn right I will. That was awesome, no matter how drunk I was.
Yeah, I was pretty wasted last night, too. I was at the bar. Everybody was on Duke, Duke this, Duke that. The guy behind me is just like, he's like, player of the year, Cooper Flag, player of the year. I would never bet against Duke. I would never. People next to me are like, who's going to win? I was like, Houston. And then they're like, all right, you're cut off. And I was like, okay. And then what happened? Fucking one basket the last 10.5 minutes for Duke. Houston gets it done. Everybody's gone. Everybody was talking all that shit, but then they don't want to deal with it. So it was
what are people in Wisconsin doing betting on Duke, first and foremost?
I don't know.
Probably because of Knipple.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I was like,
what a traitor too. He should be at Wisconsin. The fact he went to Duke, what a horrible situation there.
Greg Gard never gets these guys to stay.
I almost I did not get Houston plus 6,000, but they were at plus 3,000 at the 3.5 minute mark, and I was like, maybe. I didn't though, because I already had money. I doubled down on Houston, and I got the futures and stuff. So, yeah, man, that was sick. I mean, Emmanuel Sharp, big three. The putback dunk after Cryer did the Reggie Miller off a steal and went all the way back.
It wasn't even Cryer.
What?
It was damn Wilson. I don't know what the hell he was thinking about. It was Malik Wilson.
I thought that was Cryer that went down and shot the three.
It was
back. It was Cryer.
The guy that dribbled it back to the 3-point line and shot it?
Yeah.
I thought that was Cryer.
No, that was Malik Wilson.
Oh,
Wait, really?
Yeah, I would have been fine if Cryer would have shot it, but damn, Malik Wilson was the one that dribbled it back and shot it.
I think you're right.
Shout out Juwan Roberts, though.
I thought thought it was Cryer. Yeah, Juwan Roberts, put back of the year. That was sick.
Oh, yeah, that was sick, but But yeah, it was Malik Wilson, and I was like, what is he doing?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It was Malik Wilson. Yeah, great putback. I mean, Cooper Flag missed bunnies. A lot of Duke fans bitching about the over the back. I think it was a clear over the back foul. I don't care that you don't call that, but I'm glad they did against the National Player of the Year and the team he plays for, being Duke. I think Duke got away with stuff in the first half. When you only score one field goal in the last 9 minutes and 39 seconds, it's a problem. It's an absolute problem.
Yep.
It's not anyone's fault other than yours. When you're up 15, 16 points, you're up 9 with 2 minutes to go, 7 points after a technical foul with 56 seconds left. It's inexcusable. Inexcusable.
I was surprised they called that over the back, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, you look at that over the back, and he was definitely over the back. But if you look at it again, I saw a replay of it. Flag grabbed underneath the arm of Juwan Roberts. So if you look, he actually like kind of pulled him and grabbed it like underneath his arm and pulled him and yanked him back, and then kind of went over the top. So I don't know if they called that pull or more of the over the back, but either way, I think it was a good call. Yeah, that was a crazy game. I was listening to the press conference afterwards, and I rewatched that ending 20 seconds because they're Kelvin Sampson had said that they were going to double with Tugler if Cooper Flag took his back to the basket, and he ended up taking his back to the basket, but it was a lot later than what they thought it was going to happen. And so it was an awesome read by Tugler because he kind of showed like he was about to go, and then he decided nope, not. Came back to Malawalk, was able to kind of get that box out on him, and then Juwan Roberts had that awesome high contest on Cooper Flag. And I was talking to a couple of buddies earlier today, and I told them, it's one of those things where Houston just kind of wears you down throughout the game. They were making Flag work for every single point that he scored throughout that entire game. Comes down to that, that last one, and I firmly believe that the fact that they were able to wear him down was why, not only the good high contest, but that was why he missed it short, just because they just continued to wear at him down, throw different guys at him. Juwan Roberts took the call and really, really clamped down on him and tried to make it difficult on him in the second half. So super impressive win for Houston. That's what you call a culture win for sure.
And that's what you expect from veterans that have done this before. And we've seen Duke absolutely horrible. John Shire drawing up just isolation plays every chance he gets with 10 seconds to go. I know it's Cooper Flag, but the shot he settled on, easy jumper. That's the shot he wants. And if we're talking about those free throws, Elliot, I think the issue is that Cooper Flag probably should have been at the one at the line instead of the one that's 60% free throw shooter and Tyrese Proctor missing the 1-and-1 there.
Oh, for sure.
Unbelievable sequence of events. I think saw a little tweet that said that might have been the play of the game, and sure enough, maybe it was. That was the absolute catalyst for no chance at Duke. I mean, you get your 60% free throw shooter to the line when you have 3 other people shooting in the 80s on the floor.
They knew who to foul.
They knew who to foul.
Classic.
They read the KenPom report in the locker room, number-wise. Yes, they did. And maybe got a reminder in the final minutes by Kelvin Sampson as well, too, or an assistant coach.
Yeah, I really thought that Tugler, when he got that Class B technical for accidentally touching the ball, I thought that was going to be –
game over.
I thought it was going to be game over, and I felt so bad for him because I love the way that Tugler plays. He's just all out max effort all the time, and just one of those bonehead plays that you make. And as a coach, you can't really get mad because he knew as soon as he did it that he messed up. But so I'm so glad that didn't come down to the reason why they would have lost, because I would have felt terrible for him.
Yeah,
I completely.
He had a big block and rebound make up for it after too. So.
Yeah, that was I could not believe that he freaking grabbed the ball.
Like, I've never seen that. I don't think. Honestly.
It was almost like I had never seen when North Carolina did the lane violation against Duke in the ACC championship. I'd never seen a lane violation when it was with that much on the line to tie up the game. And I've never seen that where it's like that situation and he does something like that.
And guess what? Other than the true ball knowers, no one will remember that play whatsoever. They will only remember the collapse that Duke had and the final waking moments from Houston there. Tugler got lucky, that's for damn sure. People would be talking about that as a bonehead play like Chris Webber in the 90s, plenty of but that's forgotten under the rug, swept under the rug. We don't need to worry about that anymore. Shout out to Houston, man. I'm pumped for Houston. I was all over them in my bracket. Although my bracket sucked because I picked too many upsets, I did pick Houston and Florida in the national championship game and got 2 futures on them. Come on. So and I have Houston going all the way. I'm pumped for these Cougars, and I think for the amount of teams, the amount of success that they've had with the teams that they've had the last 5 years, this program's due for a national championship.
Yeah, and like I told you guys, win number 800 will be the national championship if he gets it. What a way to win that 800th game in your career as the national championship game.
Yeah, a little extra motivation for the team and shit there with that one. Then I completely forgot about that. You'd mentioned that, but yeah, just shout out Houston, man. That was a culture game. That was they never died, they never went away. They just kept fighting. They couldn't hit shots. They had like little stretches where they would go on a run, but then Duke would get it right back. But that final 10 minutes was domination. And then when it was like 4 or 5 minutes left, Duke's up, dribbling the clock, trying to dribble the clock out at the half court line, basically. Instead of running offense, they were trying to dribble out the clock. And right when I saw that happen, I was like, that's you never want to be doing that. Never want to be doing that, especially
inexperience,
with
man. Inexperience versus experience. And with Houston, it's a game of attrition. And one of you guys mentioned it. They kind of suck the life out of you guys, out of every team, like we've seen. Oh, and my first half team total under for Duke just lost by the book. That was devastating. But
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, that was devastating. They scored 34 points in the first half. What'd they end up with? 67? 67? Yeah, so 67. I mean, 33 points, 34 points. It's pretty good for a high-powered offense in Duke, and we saw them absolutely collapse. What they probably easily should have scored in the high 70s, 80s at the start of that second half, and the way the game was going. But the absolute collapse, that defense of Houston just crept into Duke, and one of you guys said it best: wore Duke out. Inexperience showed, lack of veterans on their team, a lot of young guys. Although they can maybe hang, showed they really couldn't. Defense definitely swarmed them. And that led to the ultimate collapse. And for how bad Houston played, I kept saying it, for how bad they're playing, my dad's texting me like, this Houston team fraudulent. I'm like, no. The fact that they're only down 5 points at half, the fact they're only down by 6 points, 7 points. They played horrible. They played like their worst game of the year until those final 10 minutes of the game.
Which
Incredible.
Deservedly so. I mean, credit goes to Duke there. Their defense and their length really gave Houston problems, and so they were not playing good, but I think partly in just because of the fact that Duke was just that good defensively and was able to kind of create some issues with their length. So shout out to them in that regard. But I know I've seen a lot of people mention this, but pretty crazy if you think Malawak, 0 rebounds. That whole night, 7'2" guy getting 0 rebounds. Just shows you the physicality that Houston has and just the perseverance and aggression that they have when it comes to attacking the glass, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Saw an awesome stat today that all the Houston players, their average mile is 5 minutes 19 seconds is the average mile. If you combined all of the I
came into my cap last. I said that on our last show. I was in my cap. Well,
yeah,
these guys can hang.
So yeah, you the 14, 15 guys on the roster. The average mile for all of them combined is freaking 5 minute 19 second mile. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, even though that wasn't the first game, let's talk about the first game. I think that obviously the Houston Duke game was one of the best games. Auburn edges out Florida for the entire game, for the most part, and then Florida just came out in a dominant performance in the second half, 79-73. They get the job done, going for the Natty Championship for their first time since their two-peat in 06-07. Incredible stuff here. Auburn, man, just dirty, sloppy play at the end of the game. Just felt really lackadaisical. Didn't like the shots that they were forcing at the end there. Although Baker Mazzara did hit a couple threes, even off the travel one that he hit a three and hit a travel right before. Didn't count. He did make some shots, but just didn't like their choice of offense matching Florida's energy too. I think they needed to win the physical game, and Florida. Both teams very experienced, Auburn and Florida. And when you have Florida and how they run, I just felt like they kind of tired out Auburn, and we really saw some just lackadaisical play from the War Eagles in the end there.
Yeah, that second half, like, dude, they got punched in the mouth, and they just never responded. Like, within the first media timeout, Florida erased that entire deficit. And I think they were leading or tied or something. Like, Auburn just no-showed that entire second half. It was ugly. Like, Florida really ramped up the defense. They played a lot more physical, a lot more pressure, definitely in your face and flying around. And Auburn just looked shook. Like, they weren't sure what to do. They couldn't get shots. They blew that lead, like I said, within the first media timeout. I don't know what the hell happened to Auburn. They just disappeared. They fought around a little bit, but Florida just kept coming. Like, they wouldn't go away. And that first half was ugly, but they've got it. They were forcing turnovers, getting runouts. They played damn good in that second half. So I'm glad Florida won. Obviously, I picked them, but Florida Houston is going to be, I think, a lot better to watch than Auburn Houston would have been. Personally, I think so. I'm glad they won, but man, Florida, incredible second half. Todd Golden, as much shit as he's gotten himself into this year, he's really put together a hell of a fucking season and a hell of a team right now to make everybody forget about that. So, yeah, just shout out Florida. Incredible game, incredible second half. Bruce Pearl loses to his former assistant.
Yeah, don't look at his iMessages.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Huff. It was one of those things where down the stretch, I felt like they had time to attack the rim and get a couple quick, easy buckets rather than try to opt for the threes that they took, especially that one in the corner by Kelly. I just feel like it was super rushed and super, like, almost what would I say, desperate. It felt like they were desperate, but I mean, you could have done similar to what Houston did, with that minute left, you get a bucket, maybe two, just layups, quick, easy layups. Florida's obviously not going to foul, and then you just force some game pressure on them. See if Florida can inbound the ball, see if they can make their free throws. You play the long game. So I just felt like Auburn down the stretch, they just kind of settled for those threes and took the more desperate route, which was unfortunate for sure. But man, Walter Clayton, he is a demon. He is an incredible shot maker. I think he'll be a good NBA player. He's going to probably go pretty high. I don't necessarily think he should get drafted as high as he's going to, just because he's very suspect on the defensive end. But man, what he does on the offensive end is absolutely incredible. His shot making is, next to none with his shot making ability. So shout out to Florida for kind of turning around, down 8, and like you said, erase that deficit. Yeah, I think they tied it up at like 49 with just under 16 to go, and then kind of hung around and it ended up. I think, did they even get it? They got it. It was a 4 or 5 point game for a majority of the time, and then they kind of pulled away down the stretch there. So good win for Florida.
And Broom definitely he played good for his injury, but I think it was noticeable. Still,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you could see him kind of just doing shit with one arm, and he had that big ass brace on under that sleeve too.
oh, he was
Definitely
hiding
wasn't.
it. Yeah, he hit the
He
sleeve.
tried.
Yep, he tried.
Yeah.
And
Elijah Martin though.
Florida guard play, man, just dominant. Dominant.
Elijah Martin was filthy. Those dunks he had yesterday, the whole bar was, just ooh and on. Like they were crazy dunks. Just pulverizing the rim, dude. That rim had freaking family, and he did not.
That
care.
one was a dagger when he dunked over 3 people.
Yeah.
Almost. Well, I think it was definitely 2. There's like another guy down there as well. That was sick. That was awesome.
That MJ dunk where he tried to fly from the free throw line. Not quite at the free throw line, but he flew.
I said Martin
Martin
combos were the play. I said didn't end up betting it, but Martin combos were definitely the play for props.
Yeah, I was unfortunately didn't combo. I took Elijah Martin 5+ rebounds. Only got the 3 rebounds. Should have just comboed the points and rebounds. Would have been fine if I would have done that, or just took the points over. I think it was at 14.5 or 15. So that would have actually no, it was like 12.5 or 13 actually. So that would have cashed. But the yeah, I mean, other than that, my props going back to that second game, that threes prop that I had with Sharp 2 threes and Cryer 3 threes that hit pretty easily. That was plus 120, and then I ended up playing a Knipple 15 points and 2 threes at plus 110. So both of those props were nice to cash. Should have probably played a little bit more props in that Florida game. I was kicking myself that I didn't play the Walter Clayton over threes and over points, just because big time players step up in big time games, and you saw exactly what he did. So I was kind of kicking myself for not doing that. I thought it was almost too easy and talked myself out of it.
Yeah, I mean Walter Clayton. I mean that is definition of March right now, man. That's fun to watch. March is stars are born in March, and I mean he wasn't only born in March. He had a fantastic season, but just absolute stellar performance last few games and this entire March Madness too.
That corner step, like sidestep 3 that he had too, just pure, just ridiculous. Like his like Elliot said, his shot making is superb. Like, and that's probably not even doing it justice. Like he's insane. It's gonna be fun to watch him against this Houston defense tomorrow. That's for sure.
And I thought the 2 big white boys for Florida, Condon and Howe, played pretty good for down low. They even stepped up a little bit as well.
Yeah, except for freaking goddamn Howe just
throws,
missing all those damn free throws at the end. He's an 82% free throw shooter, and he just was missing so many damn free throws down the stretch. Just gave Auburn just a breath of life that they couldn't take advantage of. And that leads me back to my point with, if Auburn just goes in for the layup, I mean, who's to say that they don't miss another 1 or 2 free throws? So why not put more pressure on them?
Yeah. Well, anything else about the Final Four games, or should we move on to the Grand Salami here?
Yeah, I mean, bittersweet last game of the season, but your boy's sitting with a 2-unit plus 1,800 bomb and a 5-unit preseason bomb on Houston. So, well, pretty much preseason, wasn't really, but
fuck yeah,
feeling really good. Feeling really good. I'm definitely still gonna make a bet. Feeling really good. It's been a great year. I feel like that having those 2 futures tickets encapsulates my year here at the Pump Fake Pod. And yeah, I'm gonna brag a little bit, be the braggadocio guy here. So feeling good. But I will say, oh no, go ahead.
No, go for it.
No, I was gonna say what I will say is I think what we saw here on these Final Four plays, March haters step aside. I didn't have the best March, only up like 6 units, but it was kind of a battle for me in March. Trevor, you had a better March, what we survive in advance, and now we just sit feet. I might not even make a bet. I think I'm going to log off here. Feet up for the futures. I'm just kidding. Definitely going to float some plays down.
From within. Shadow within. Bake Mazar is a fraud. Yeah, and he's 26 and back next year. I don't get it. So yeah, we haven't seen the last of him quite yet within. So get ready to keep that Baker Mazar hate up for next year.
Yeah.
Jen, moment to appreciate UConn's performance. Yeah, they dominated. I don't know if you guys saw the score of that game.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched it.
I watched it 83-59. I watched it and turned it off quick. It was a beat down.
Yeah, my God.
Yeah.
Good for Paige Beckers, too.
Oh, yeah.
Finally
It was an ass kicking. That Sarah Strong girl, she's freaking a beast. I think UConn was like closed -6.5 or -7.5. That was free. It was also free. They're -6.5, -7.5 against UCLA as well. They just smoked them both by 25 plus. So, and shout out, damn Hasty, 10 units on UConn -6. No sweat right there, baby.
That has to feel good on a 10-unit bomb there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I did see that. I was Hazy Fuzz mom. Butt around and find out.
That's an elite shirt.
She didn't have
a game. 24 points.
Yeah,
5 boards, 3 steals.
Yeah,
I mean, but Sarah Strong, 24, 15, and 5 with 3 blocks and 2 steals. My God,
She was a beast.
My God. Yeah, and UConn was 4-17 from 3. They still put up fucking 80.
Could have been a lot worse.
Oh my God. Yeah, my alarms didn't go off this morning, so I didn't wake up till freaking 2. I was dire need of sleep, but I rolled over and saw 2 o'clock. I was like, what in the actual fuck? The whole day was just gone. So I don't know when this game came on. I missed it. I didn't see the score. So
3.
Yeah, Eastern.
3 Eastern.
2. Yeah, so I missed it, but I saw the score, and it was like 80-40 something at one point or whatever, something like that. It was an absolute beatdown. So shout out UConn women, getting another title and absolutely smoking South Carolina. I don't know how UConn lost 3 games this year,
and they were a 2 seed in their region.
I know.
Awesome.
2 seed.
Crazy.
It's awesome. But yeah.
Helms had Fudd 20 plus points.
Bud Packer.
What video? Oh, that okay, yeah. There's a couple. I was feeling it after that Duke loss. It was a full send last night. That's for sure.
I mean, all these Duke fans. Duke Twitter was absolutely
melting.
Calling the win before. No, they were hiding after it was over. But calling the win with 10 minutes to go and stuff like that. Have you watched a college basketball game before, especially your team in final waking moments this year?
Yeah, all those people at the bar that were just talking all that shit. Just like, oh, I don't know how you bet against Duke. I would never. This Duke team's so good. Pooper Flag, player of the year. Player of the year that missed a fucking 6-foot open jumper, win the goddamn game. Player of the year.
Open, but
I mean, Roberts was a little late to get his hand up. He was there, but.
And Kenny 36-0, you are thanks for plugging, because we're gonna have a reaction show to tomorrow. Give away our final reactions to the season, little season recap, roundup, and and then we're gonna announce some of our off-season shows and schedule as well too there. Tune in tomorrow after the game.
Yeah. So great weekend of Final Four hoops. I know I was complaining about no upsets and shit, but it's once you get to the Final Four, that's the Sweet 16 Elite 8. That's you start seeing these better games, and they fucking delivered yesterday. I mean, Auburn and Florida didn't even get the respect it deserved, because immediately after was Duke and Houston.
An all-time game. Top.
Yeah.
top tier game of all time.
Yeah, that game was elite. Yeah, hell of a game. But
Before we start, let me refill my drink. But
Yeah, I'll just say while you're refilling your drink, shout out to Nebraska taking home the Crown basketball tournament, beating UCF by 11. I know that shout out to Jen. I know that she had Nebraska as her future for the Nebraska Crown feature, and FanDuel paid it out. So shout out to Jen on that hit.
there we go.
I boycotted after they pulled the first games down, so I didn't really bet it. But shout out Nebraska, Little Hoiberg, and I think it looked like Essien had a game. Your boy Essien had a good game today. So
he pops up randomly. Yes, I did bet Flags under. That was my one loss yesterday. Was Pooper Flags under points. He had 8.5, and then he was marched to the line a shit ton in the second half. So it is what it was. Big deal. I got the big Houston plays. Got Florida money line. Whatever.
I literally didn't watch the Crown outside of the first day because then the betting shit happened, and then I did watch today. But who coached Villanova with Neptune gone? Just curious. Was it assistant coach?
Yeah,
I don't know
who it was. Forget the
that will answer.
It was the assistant. But
speaking of that, Darius Johnson goes off for fucking 42 the night before against Villanova in that overtime game. Wild.
They still lost, didn't they? Still
lost. No, they won. Darius Johnson won.
Oh, they did. Oh yeah. I'm thinking of the Villanova game like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, whenever. They came back. But what everybody has come here for, the national championship. Florida opened as a dog. They're now laying points. Just if you know, you know. Who wants to kick us off?
I'll go kick us off. I said it again. I said it already. I don't care. I'm gonna wear it out like a cheap suit. Florida future, Houston future. Feeling comfortable, feeling great. Love everything, but I bet Florida's future middle of the season. I picked Houston to win this whole damn tournament early in the year. Pre-season show with you, Trevor. Even before Elliot hopped on this show. Picked in November. For that reason alone, I'm going to ride with my gut feeling early in the year, saying this is Houston's year. Veteran team, Kelvin Sampson, veteran coach, never has won it, been to the Final Four, lost to the Hoosiers once in 2002, lost to Baylor. This was his year, writing on the wall. And then we get funny tidbits of life, 800 wins coming to this championship now, looking at the season. For that reason alone, taking them this year, early in the season, I will be betting Houston. If I want to give you actually like a strategic analysis reason, we've seen Houston do this before in close scenarios. We've seen Florida be clutch as well too, and we've seen Florida's guard absolutely shine. I think when it comes to the guards that Florida has played outside of maybe Texas Tech, defensively, Houston will give them the most disruptions. I also see that I think Florida will have more struggles than they do in the down low against Juwan Roberts, Tugler, and Houston in general. Will be able to wear them out, even with Florida's fast-paced offense. Florida hasn't really seen a defense quite like this, and sometimes you can give them fits. Florida's down 12. They can probably tie it right back up, but that's a different story with Houston, who can also match on offense with probably the toughest defense and the best defense that we've seen. With Ken Pom able to stop the best offensive juggernaut we've seen since UConn's run the last 2 years. So give me Houston here. They get it done. Bunch of veterans, 2 veterans of teams. I know that, but I will take the veteran coach over the good story of Todd Golden. It's fine. It's good. It's all speculation. It's all just jokes and gossip that we're talking about here. with his message, but it actually is a really good season for Florida and Todd Golden's rise to the top coaching. But this is Kelvin Sampson's year. He's going to get it done. He's brought Houston back to prominence, and it's been a long road and a long journey of heartache with good teams, good players. You saw that video of Jamal Shed. He was so pumped up for his team, so pumped up for his program, and that's just the mentality I think Houston embodies. We've mentioned the average mile. We've mentioned the athleticism, but this culture that Houston has of playing together and have playing together, even with different pieces just coming in, it feels different, and I think this is Houston's year. And Trevor, your magical line flip on the most public game of the world. So yeah, give me the Cougars here. They get it done outright. Keep the +1.5. I will take Houston to lock this one in, and I think the over/under is somewhat telling as well too. I know it's a national championship game, but low 70s game. Give me Houston all day on that.
Yes, I am alive, Toasty. I am alive. Just overslept a little bit today. Just a little overslept, but yeah. Elliot, what do you got for this?
Yeah, I'll be on Houston as well. Picked him in my bracket. I was right there with Huffer. I had a few. I faded Duke a little bit too early, so my bracket wasn't quite great. But I did pick this Houston-Florida matchup. Have Houston winning it. I have to go back and look at the score that I picked. I'd be curious to see what score I put as the tiebreaker. But I like Houston. I think they are both of these teams are great teams. Definitely have been, put through the test and put through the ringer throughout the whole entire season. Both being in the Big 12 and the SEC. But I'm going to stick with defense wins championships here. We talked about Duke versus Houston, and Duke had the number one offense, but Houston had the number one defense. So I chose to ride with Houston's number one defense, and it kind of prevailed, however ugly it may be. So I think, now we're getting the Florida number 2 ranked offense in the nation against the Houston Cougars defense. I think that it's going to be another slugfest type of a game, and we might see Florida go up, 8 to 10 points at some point. But that doesn't mean that Houston's going to quit. They're going to give it their all. They're going to play for the entire 40 minutes, like they've said. And so I just think that they'll be able to slow it down, create kind of the mismatches. I think they'll be a lot more physical. As you saw, that Duke and Houston game, man, was physical as hell. And so I feel like if the refs allow them to play that with that physicality again, definitely favors Houston, and they can really kind of. I expect Walter Clayton to get his points, but they might kind of funnel like they did with Cooper Flagg. Let Cooper Flagg get his 27, 30 points, but then just try to stop the other pieces around him. So it might be one of those games where Houston lets Walter Clayton kind of do his thing, get his 35 points, but then don't let anybody else get over 15. And I think we'll also see, that Houston is technically undersized, you could say, but their physicality and their stamina makes up for that tremendously. And I think that showed with Malawak having 0 rebounds. So it's going to be interesting to see a Florida team that's very good on the offensive glass, see how they do against a very physical and very aggressive front line of Houston that can rotate in a couple with Xavier Francis, Juwan Roberts. And people forget, that game last night, Milos Uzan was out for 12 minutes of that first half because he got the 2 fouls, and then Kelvin Sampson was able to put him in with about 2 minutes to go, and you saw led to a Cryer 3 and a 3 by himself, 3 for him, and it came on a 9-2 run. So if Uzan doesn't get in foul trouble, that first half could have been a lot closer too. So, but yeah, I'll be on Houston. I'll ride the defense. I'll ride Kelvin Sampson as a coach. I think it's his time. This is his team. I thought it was his team last year, but then the unfortunate with the shed injury and then the free throw line down the stretch. But we heard last night in the press conference, ever since June, he's made his every single player shoot 150 free throws every day, and everybody's been doing that from last June to now, and it showed up big time with Juwan Roberts going to the line, where he was 3 for 8 down the stretch against Duke last year, and hits 2 big ones to put him in front for the last time last night. So I expect kind of it to come to a culmination, and I think Houston will be the one that's raising the banner tomorrow night.
Yeah, Houston for me here as well. Obviously we had the line flip system play there, but on top of that, this is the best team that Kelvin Sampson's ever had to at Houston. Like, this team can shoot. They're really great inside. They can crash the glass. They'll be able to contend with Condon and Haw or Hauf, however you say his last name, for Florida. And not to mention, I mean, they can shoot too. Houston does go on some stretches where they struggle to score at times, yes, but they always find a way. They make important shots. They show up when they need to. I mean, they were down 15 last night, and they came back and won against Duke and held them to 1 field goal the last 10 and a half minutes. This 141 total does kind of seem, obviously, that it's more of a Houston total than it is a Florida, because Florida would be, if this is around the 150s, that might sway me the other way here. But you got a low total here with a Florida team that everybody loves. Everybody's crowned them. They got Walter Clayton, Elijah Martin, Will Richard. They have great guard play, but so does Houston. I mean, Cryer, Uzan, and Sharp, all those guys are just as good in my opinion. Walter Clayton, he's himself, but Houston's guards are elite also. And then like you said, you got Tugler, Juwan Roberts, and Javier Francis that you can rotate in there. They've got depth, they've got guys, they rotate, they play everybody. I really like Houston. I think they're going to score. I think they just died, and then they came back to life and won that game yesterday. I think they're going to be playing with a lot of confidence again here tomorrow. And not to mention, Sampson's going for 800 wins. This team loves them. They're gonna play hard for them. They're not going to give up. They're never going to be out of this game. Will they be down at some point? Probably. They will, but they'll fight. They'll get back into the game. It's just their defense is elite. Florida hasn't seen a defense like this all year. It's going to be a shock. I know Duke was up big, but like you said, Uzan was in foul trouble. They put him back in to end the first half, and they went on a little run. So, I mean, assuming that we're not going to get foul trouble, and if the refs are going to call Houston for playing defense the way they do, they're cooked. But it's going to be the national title game. I think they're going to let them play a little bit here. I like the guards for Houston. They're just as good. Like I said, everybody's talking about Clayton, Martin, Richard. Houston's got 3 guys that match up just as well with them. So I like Houston here. I'm taking the +1. It's -110, or you can get -110 money line. I'll just take a point just in case of some shenanigans here. But yeah, I'm taking Houston here. I also like Emmanuel Sharp threes. Over 2.5 is +120. He's a 41% shooter, some shit this year, and he's a 38.5% shooter career at Houston in 3 years. He can light it up, and he's going to get his shots. Like, he gets volume. The last 2 games he shot 17 threes, and he had 8. I mean, he gets volume, and Florida can play fast, and that might mess up Houston a little bit, but Houston can also get their game. So I like Houston. I'm going to be on Emmanuel Sharp, over 2.5 threes, +120 tomorrow. I think against this Florida team, there's going to be the ability to get shots up. Not to mention, Houston doesn't rebound really. What they do is they tap the ball out. Like, they'll tap the ball out to an open 3-point shooter, and half the time that's Emmanuel Sharp, and LJ Cryer went nuts last night too. So I think he might have a little bit more attention on him. So I think that kind of opens it up for Sharp here. So I like that. I like Houston. I'm going big. I'm not sure how big. I'm definitely doing 2 units. Might go 3 units on Houston, and then a unit on that Sharp. Sharp 3 points. And I don't bet totals. Somebody wants to fade this, you can have a free total. I like the under. So that's probably going to be 155 points in this game now because I like the under. So
I'll take
the total for me.
I'll take the over. It's a Houston over. I'll take for once, but I think someone does score 70. I think we see a 74 to 68 type game, 74 60 something, 76 70. Just squeaks over the number. I think we see more points scored than expected. I'll take Duke's defense over Florida's defense, not discrediting Florida's defense. That's another cap that comes into play here. I know Houston just played their hearts out, came back and won, but also Florida just played a really physical game against Auburn as well too. These kids are young though; they're running on adrenaline. They ain't worried about this. They're going to both be playing for their lives tomorrow. So, a 9:00 Monday national championship game. What the hell?
Still so stupid. They go.
Hey,
We
at
got to
least
make the
they,
West Coast and watch. Fuck the West Coast. They live on the West Coast and get 70 degrees in beach days. They're fine.
At least they moved it up 30 minutes.
That's true.
Well, move it up. Freaking an hour.
Yeah, because our watch party will, or not, I guess reaction show will be a little earlier now. I guess so. They'll still be around 11 or so. But
Yeah.
we got to see one shining moment, which is my favorite thing ever.
One shining moment.
Seeing the
I
tears.
think that Florida with Tennessee, when they played Tennessee, the Tennessee defense not necessarily comparable to Houston, but that's about as comparable as you can get in the SEC. When Tennessee played Florida, they held Florida to 44 one game, and they held Florida to 73 the next game. So I could see it being in the 60s, high 60s, and I could see I see that score about 74-68, 74-70, something like that. I was just looking up on my bracket, see how many total points I said would be scored in the final game. You want to guess how good I am?
143.
Tough.
141.
Yep. 141. Crazy.
Yeah, but I always just say it's 74-70 is the national championship score. I always just say that. That's just what I do every year.
I can get behind a 74-70 Houston win tomorrow.
Oh yeah, baby.
That'll be great. Any props do you guys like in this game? Because gotta do some props. Should we do a little first basket play? Just for some funsies here. It's a national championship.
I mean, sure. I'm already on. I'll tell you, I'm going to do Emmanuel Sharp 2 threes, Cryer 3 threes again. That's plus 130 this time. It was plus 120 last time. I'm going to just write it again. Cryer looked to get going pretty early. He had two pretty quick. I will say for your bet, Trevor Sharps, that it's not going to be necessarily a sweat, but he's known to hit a few down the stretch. So look for that third one or fourth one to kind of come, or the third one to kind of come under 4 minutes. Usually doesn't take as many at the beginning of the game, but seems to kind of put up those dagger ones down the stretch. Kind of gets that feeling of he knows when to shoot the dagger threes. So if it's a close game and they're up by 2, he'll be the one to take a dagger 3 and hit it.
First basket for me will be Juwan Roberts plus 750. I'll take that.
Like it. First basket. I will take everybody's going to be picking Walter Clayton. That's not going to hit. I'll take Tugler. He didn't have a great game. Offensively he was pretty rough. He was a foul machine. I think they get it into him early and get him going a little bit. Build up the confidence and shit. He kind of You know, Indy had that big fuck up with the technical, but they overcame that. I think they get the ball into him early, build up some confidence, and get him into the game immediately after basically kind of no showing offensively last night here. So I'll take him plus 950.
Method of first basket. The lowest odds is Houston 2-point field goal plus 165. Florida 2-point field goals the second highest or second lowest plus 210. So maybe it's a little telling we get a 2-point field goal. I'll take Tugler and Juwan, but I'm just going to do Juwan with my gut feeling. But a little telling that we can get a 2-point field goal from Houston is the lowest odds for first method of the basket.
Tugler on DK is plus 1100 for first basket. By the way,
gotta love offshore. Fucking screw me out of $1.50.
Yeah, I'll go square here, and I'll take Walter Clayton. I feel like Florida will win the tip. Just with their size, they're up front. They'll win the tip. Walter Clayton will come down off of a probably a high ball screen and just try to just dribble in a couple of dribbles, pull up into a three, kind of get the tone started. So we'll see if it goes on or off, we'll see if he makes it or not. But
yeah, I don't hate any of those. I mean, if Florida gets it, obviously Clayton's going to take the shot, but I'm gonna ride with our guy here. I don't hate Roberts either. I'm with Huff. I think it's going to be inside, so it's just a matter of picking the right guy here. Hopefully, throw a little bit of coin on that just for fun. Is this a game we like? Houston by 1 to 10 points plus 175.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
You think they're gonna blow out Florida? I don't.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
I'm just going to take Houston bigger unit wise than normal.
You can get Florida by 1 to 10 plus 180. I mean,
well, I don't want to take that.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, if you want to really try to thread the needle, just keep it within 10 points. Could make money on either side, but
I mean, 5 units on Houston's future. We got 2 on Florida. So, yeah, I'm liking Roberts tomorrow. I think he does have even another great game. I'll take his over points and rebounds as well too. And I feel like we're obligated to still take Walter Clayton. Still think he has a great game. I just don't think maybe we don't see as good of a game out of Elijah Martin against Houston. But still tough to fade him. I'm definitely not going to take an under there. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Juwan Roberts double-double is plus 650. He's had a double-double 2 of the last – or no, he only had 5 points against Purdue.
His points rebounds are 17.
Juiced over.
Yeah. And I'm not going to bet the Florida team total first half under, although it was nice, but I'm not going to bet it just because I want to see some points tomorrow.
I'm perusing. Maybe look for some things. Juwan Roberts points, 12 plus points, plus 100 or plus 110.
He's only scored 12 or more once, and that was against Gonzaga in this tournament. He's kind of just disappeared offensively after that Texas Tech game. He's kind of just 8, 6, 11, 2, 6, 18, 5, 9, 11. His offense is just kind of.
I will say probably the best best line for him would be probably just the 7 plus rebounds. I mean, that dude had like 6 rebounds within the first 12 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Race to 70 points plus 158 for Houston. Race to 60 points plus 100 for Houston. I know that's definitely not like our normal race to 10, race to 15 bets, but I'm fine to hammer the Houston race to whatever bets. I love it. They're all
I could see
Florida.
I could see a Florida race to 10, race to 15. I don't know what it is, but I could see Florida kind of starting out a little hot and then
minus
Houston
120.
kind of imposing their will down the stretch.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Elijah Martin's points are even money for over 12.5. That's kind of tempting. Just don't want to.
Milos Uzon 4+ assists, minus 110. I don't mind that either, especially with the couple of the shooters that they surround him with. And just his ability to kind of get into the paint with his dribble drive and dish off to Roberts or to Tugler. So I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'm seeing minus 104 for that here. Minus 104. I don't hate that at all.
Clayton props. If you want to bet Clayton props, bet it now. It's getting juice. It's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to go up.
But that's pretty much all I have.
The other thing for Clayton props.
What's that?
The other thing for Clayton props is you can look at just leading scorer of the game, plus 125 for Walter Clayton. Usually Houston has a balanced attack. Cryer can get hot and get into the 20s, but I think Clayton could definitely be the leader in the clubhouse, especially if Houston plays like they did against Flag and just let him get his buckets. Clayton could have 25, and I think maybe Cryer would be at like 19, 20, and then you've got a couple other guys at like 15, 14 stuff for Houston. So that might not be a bad look at plus 125.
Yeah. There was, God damn it, I can't find it. I saw basically like MVP odds for this game. I just don't know where it went.
While you're looking for that, Huff, what would you do on a first half money line? Minus 115 both ways. Would you look to play Houston?
I think you're reading the wrong line, buddy. I'm going to sprinkle the tie at plus 1,500. Give me first half tie. Love sprinkling those. So, I got my futures. I'm picking Houston. I'm going to take some props, take some crazy first of 20 plays, crap like that, spray the board a little bit, just because we do have those futures to play with. We did lose 5 other futures, but luckily the 5-unit play for Houston was my biggest future of the season. I'm just going to take a little stab here and shoot for a little tie on the first half, plus 1,500. The overtime is only plus 1,300. First half tie, a little tougher, but let's take a stab at the tie there.
I don't hate that.
If you want to, you could probably find stuff at plus money if you go to the tie available. Elliot, probably find both teams at plus money.
Yep.
All right, I did find it. Final 4 most outstanding player. Walter Clayton's favored, minus 150. LJ Cryer, plus 120. Juwan Roberts, 16-1. Elijah Martin, 18-1. Emmanuel Sharp, 25-1. Howe, 25-1. Uzan, 50-1. Will Richards, 70-1. Condon, 150. And Aberdeen, 150-1.
Aberdeen, Wisconsin?
Denzel Aberdeen from Florida, 150.
I'm messing.
This one is tempting. This one I'd be kind of more tempted to take like a stab at a bigger dog here.
Yeah, but you want to take it for Houston because Ronan Betts is right, or Ryan Hasty's right. If Florida wins, it'll definitely be Clayton, regardless of the game he hasn't played.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Juwan Roberts or Emmanuel Sharp's kind of intriguing. One of them has to have a man. I think they both have good games, but Cryer, you got to imagine, is going to get majority of the pressure in the defense. They're going to plan for him, concerning he's the main ball handler. Clayton's going to get his. It is what it is. But Roberts, if he has like a if he's got like a 15-15 game or something and just dominates the boards, I could see that as the way they won. And Emmanuel Sharp, he can score. And if Cryer or, Uzang get in foul trouble, he steps up into the point guard role also. So that's basically being the ball handler, running the offense, having a good game. He has like, I don't know, 7 assists, something like that, with like 15 points, 20 points, along with a couple of rebounds. Could see it. I mean, even if he ices the game at the free throw line late, could see that 25-1's intriguing. I just don't want to play chalk here. It's probably going to be Walter Clayton, but still, it's an interesting spot. I mean, these are some decent numbers on these guys outside of Cryer and Clayton. If you had to pick one, who would you take for your MVP, basically?
I'm gonna take LJ Cryer, but I'm not betting that. If I had to pick, I'd pick LJ Cryer, just sticking with my guns for Houston. But I don't mind the stabs there. I just feel like it's more of a popularity award. They do take effect and account into the rest of the tournament as well too.
True.
Yeah, I would lean Cryer. I might sprinkle a little bit on Juwan Roberts, just because it's the good feel-good story with him and Sampson being like really, really tight, really close.
Yeah, I'm more inclined with Roberts over Sharp too. I can just kind of see an avenue for both to get there. But you guys are probably right. It's probably going to either be Clayton or Cryer, one of the two, unless we get some foul trouble or they just have bad games. But it's going to be one of those. It's got to be one of these three guys here. So I'll sprinkle a little bit on Roberts, 16-1 here, just for funsies. Why not? So yeah, I guess, do we just want to recap everything that we have bet wise and go from there?
Yeah, Houston money line, first half tie. Going to take the over 140 as well. Houston rates to 70. Juwan Roberts points, rebounds. Clayton points, rebounds, assists. And I said first half tie already, I believe, too. And we're going to sprinkle some race to 60s and 70s as well with Houston. Yeah, I think we're maybe a little Florida leading at first half, Houston, but haven't bet that. I'll put all my picks on the page tonight. But yeah, definitely Houston money line and the over. And we do have 2 futures on Houston, Florida. So, and I want to see Houston win. I'm just rooting for them. I'm just rooting for them as a fan here, and I think Kelvin Sampson deserves a championship with his legacy.
Yeah, I'm with you. Really want Houston to win. Florida, great team, fun story all year, minus Golden's off the court issues. And his assistant. Other than that, fun team, fun program to watch all year. But I will be on Houston. I'm on the +1 here. I got 2 units on it. I put a half unit on Houston by 1 to 10 points, +175. Tugler first basket +950. I put a 10th of a unit on that. And then Juwan Roberts, most outstanding player, I put a 10th of a unit on that, also at 16-1. And then Emmanuel Sharp over 2.5 threes +120 is what I have for tomorrow. And then I'm going to sprinkle that tie with you because why not?
And Cup of Joe, Florida, he's already taken the line movement. But if it does flip again, the system is so flawed on a national game where it's only one game to bet on, and it's the most public game of the year to bet on.
I'm just saying, if it flips back over to Houston favored, system's off because that's where the line opened. But it is a system.
Well, you're fucked, buddy. The system's fucked.
Hey, the system was killer this year. Killer.
It was. I'm just saying, for the national championship game, it's the most bet of the year. It's gonna bounce around always like the Super Bowl, low-key.
We could. We'll find out tomorrow.
Well, it's already flipped, so it's too late. You're in the flip of pass number return point.
Trying to find a just bet tie for first half. I don't know if I
First half win margin.
Yeah. Well, I'll be. I'm on Houston money line, and then I'm on Juwan Roberts 7+ rebounds. I'm on Milos Uzon's 4+ assists. I'm also going to be on Sharp 2+ threes parlayed with Cryer 3+ threes at +130. That's all I have right now. I'll probably play the Walter Clayton leading scorer +125 on DraftKings. I'll play that as well for the Florida side, just to have something on the Florida side. Other than that, that's all I have currently. I will. I'll do the race to. Are you doing 70 or 60, Huff? Or both?
Both.
Both. Yeah, I'll probably do one of the or both of those, and I'll sprinkle that tie too. It'll be fun just to kind of root for something there down the stretch in that first half.
Yep. Well, that was the national championship preview. We will be live tomorrow after the game, some reactions and whatnot for the whole season. A little recap of the season, and then it's over until next year. But there will be baseball. Well, I mean, basketball will be over until next year. There'll be off-season shows. We'll have we're going to do conference previews and shit, portal news, coaching news, all that good stuff at some point. And then I will be doing baseball on here also. Try to do it nightly. Maybe the weekends I might not, but nightly for baseball, and then whatever else comes out this year. We'll still be active in the summer. We're not disappearing like last year until the next.
Yeah, maybe I think this week we'll do a random episode of the all team names.
Yes.
So stay on the lookout for that.
Yep. Yeah, shout out everybody that's been in the chat all year too. I mean, we got Jen, Joe, Hasty, Danny Dumbshit, Ronan, Sports Scientist Jacob, Hasty, I think I said Hasty, Britt, Adam, Juice, Virgil. A lot of you guys, appreciate everybody, and then whoever I didn't name, my apologies. Kenny, you got Kenny in here. Yeah, a lot of you guys really appreciate it. It's channel really took off this year. We really appreciate it. It's big shout out to you guys. Wouldn't have done it without you, but regardless, we would still be here talking to a wall, doing it anyway. So we appreciate you guys are riding with us. It's been a fun year, hell of a year. Kind of fiending for a Friday night show, one of those 4-hour just marathons, just getting wasted. Those are always good shows.
Oh man, shit, yeah, those they come too quick. They come too and there's just too little far in between because you don't really get the big Saturday slates, or some in December, but just not that same feeling of when all the conferences are loading up their games. So yeah. Shout out to the chat. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you. It's been a hell of a year. Let's cash another one tomorrow. I know chat's even got some Florida and Houston futures. Fantastic. Love to see it. Let's have a great day tomorrow, and let's have a great national championship game. At least see a good game. If the bets lose, I want to see a great game still.
Yeah.
Yep. And for the chat, live Masters play, first play I'll make it in the Masters this year. I'll put out some more, but Nico Echevarria, top 40 +105.
Nico Echevarria, top 40. All right, I like it.
Thanks for coming in. He's number 1 in strokes gained putting, and at the Masters, you got to be a very good putter. So look for him to get the top 40. It's a rookie appearance. Usually they don't do really, really well, like top 20. But plus money for the top 40, make the cut. I like it.
I don't have top 40. I have top 20 plus 425.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. It's his first Masters appearance. They typically who can play pretty good, but then kind of fade down the stretch just because of everything going on. So I wouldn't do the top 20.
Yeah, I remember last year I had I bet 3 guys and they were all in like the top 5 on the last day. It was like exhilarating. It was like, holy shit. None of them won, of course. None of them won. I think it was Homa. Who else did I have? Homa. What was that other guy's name?
I had Shane Lowry. I think was it top 20 last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. I think it was 2 years ago.
Hey, and shout out to the K-State women's golfer who won the Augusta Women's National Amateur Golf Tournament on Saturday. So first time for K-State to have a golfer that won that, and she is the first golfer to in the women's amateur there to score in the 60s all 3 days. It's only a 3-day tournament.
Where do golf hang banners?
Huh?
Yeah,
I don't know.
in the clubhouse?
Probably like the admin place.
On like a flag, maybe they'll have they do like a banner flag and they just hang it up in their clubhouse.
Tennis team too hangs their banners there too.
Probably. Who knows?
Well,
But yeah,
on a not so collegiate, but kind of collegiate. There's a team better than the Indianapolis Colts. There's a team better than the Kansas City Chiefs, and there's for sure as hell a team better than the Green Bay Packers and that stupid Green Bay bullshit. The Fisher's Freight, all aboard Fisher's Freight Indoor Football League. I went on Friday, a 50-yard field indoor football. I was captivated. Fantastic product, 50 yards, continuous clock, 8v8. It was awesome. Some just death-defying hits, jumping into the wall, jumping into the crowd, some death-defying hits. Fisher's Freight, all aboard, 2-0, winning the inaugural game at their new stadium, inaugural season. Hey. All aboard the Fisher's Freight.
You gotta give them. You gotta give
a football team up here too.
Hey, you gotta give the all aboard. Choo choo.
Oh, they did. When they scored, they were like, yep. Come on, ride the train. Choo choo. They like played that song. They were like, all right, I'm all for it. Better than
they're not playing Crazy Train.
They did. That's what they came out to.
Hell yeah. I do have a baseball bet in for tomorrow. Pirates plus 106. Cardinals doubleheader today. Got their asses absolutely waxed on Sunday Night Baseball. And now they got to turn around and fly to Pittsburgh and play a divisional game. I'd take the Pirates here. Let's go.
Yeah, what was that statistic last year? Hit a lot. It had a good hit rate with the traveling or the team. Any of the teams that play Sunday Night Baseball that have to travel and play on Monday, it was like a super high hit rate.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. You don't get done the game, and the game took forever tonight because Boston put up like 19 runs or something. So the game took forever. You used your starter got knocked on the second or third inning. So you used all those extra arms, and then you got to finish the game. Then you got to do media and all that other shit. Then you got to fly, and you get in late. It's a tough spot. So I like the Pirates plus 106 tomorrow. And shout out from within. I love that. I found this channel. You guys really know ball. Wish I was following from the start. Look forward to next year. Absolutely, dude. Next year's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great year next year. I think we have pretty much daily shows. The Friday shows are the ones you got to get in for. Cancel all your plans.
They're crazy. They're crazy. They are.
They're always fun.
It gets a little – definitely, like, we start talking way too much about the 12 and 2 o'clock games, and then we're like, oh, shit. And then definitely the booze kind of sets in for the 3 and 4 o'clock games. And then the 6 through 10 slate, we're like, all right, let's get it done because it's 3 in the morning.
Yeah. We talk, what, 70% of the board, at least 75% of the
on
games.
Friday's night shows for 150 game slate, we definitely talk about 100 games or close to it. 80 for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely. I think that I would give anything right now to have it be Wednesday night, and I am talking about light beer. Thank you, Jen. No, I'm just kidding. I'd give anything right now to be on a Wednesday night talking Big West hoops.
Oh yeah, my God!
Same forecast, dude. I partied my ass off last night. I was riding high. That was all the shit people were talking to me at the bar, and then they just disappeared. I'm gonna be chasing the dragon.
Dude, that's my favorite thing like that. Last night.
Yeah, Trevor sent the video just crossing the bar.
That shit was great.
Oh my
god. Great night. But yeah, well, I'm gonna link the pick sheet under this video when it ends. So go back and see everything that we will be betting for this. And yeah, baseball Tuesday. I'm gonna be streaming it on this channel. I have a guy on Twitter that I talk a lot of baseball and shit with. So we're just gonna do a stream, kind of just go through some games and bets and shit, and get that done. So baseball content will be had, and then whatever else we do this summer. So appreciate you guys. We will see you tomorrow for the reaction show. Hopefully cashing some fat tickets, some first baskets props, some first half tie, hopefully we got everything tomorrow. So that would be,
I'd say let's plan for like 20 minutes after the game's over.
Yeah, probably soon.
Once they show one shining moment, then we'll.
Yeah, after. Yep.
I just want to make sure one shining moment's done.
I gotta cry. I cry every year. I'm a sentimental boy. I'm a sentimental man. I ain't afraid to cry. I cry over one shining moment because it's just like a new stage of life. It's like a new year. New Year's don't begin for me on December 31st and January 1st. It's always around April 4th, April 5th because it's freaking basketball's over. Got WrestleMania. It's like a new season. Just all starts over. New year. Huffer New Year. April. Middle of April. Early April.
Absolutely. Again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Maybe with some not so dry eyes after the one shot.
Hug me, brother.
Hug me, brother. All right. Good luck tomorrow. We'll see you. Enjoy the game and go Cougs. Toodles.